And joining me is one of my co-hosts, and she will introduce herself.
DEBRA Crockett.
And welcome again to All Walks of Life. And we are immature journalists. We are just trying to make the world better. And what we do here is we take an episode and we try to look beyond what we see. So we have a lot to cover, and we're going to try to do as much as we can today. Um, we're going to actually get into, I'm going to try to get my, um, I'm trying to get my camera ready. Oh, here we go. We got Felicia jumping in now, one of my other co-hosts, and I just, hi, Felicia. She's connecting now. Um, that's my other co-host. While she's jumping in, we're going to proceed on. Um,
Hello. Hi guys. Sorry I'm late.
that better late than never. Better late than never. Actually, let me get started. Actually, we're going to actually jump into one of the topics that we are discussing today. We're actually going to be talking about the contract, and the contract has to do with Monique and DL Hughley. And what is what is a contract? And I had to actually look that up because I wanted the actual meaning of a contract. And a contract is a written or spoken agreement, especially one concerning employment, sales, or tenancies that is intended to be enforceable by law. Now, when I look up contracts in Matthews, hold on one second, somebody is also waiting. Um, I think, oh, okay, that was,
Sorry, Krista. Yeah, my mom was, oh gosh. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
that's okay, that's okay.
Mm,
But when I look up under Matthew in the Bible and to find out what is a contract, Matthew
mm.
chapter 5, verse 37, it says, all you need to say is simply yes or no. Anything beyond that comes from the evil one. From there, I could just drop the mic right there, coming from
Yeah.
Matthew. But I want to hear what my co-hosts have to say regarding a contract. So let's hear from Deborah. Deborah, what do you have to say about a contract between D.L. Hughley and Monique?
Okay, what I would have to say about a contract. Okay, you said DL Hughley supposed to be the headliner, and
Yeah,
Monique says she's supposed to be the headliner, right?
yes.
So uh, a contract. So did the contract state that he is the headliner and she's not the headliner? Or what did the contract state?
Well, according to the contract, D.L. Hughley is supposed to be the headliner.
Mm,
And Monique thought that she was supposed to be the headliner, but D.L. Hughley's name was printed big and bold.
yeah.
And but she went on a rant on stage regarding the contract, which I think that was supposed to be between the two people, or the people, or even the promoter and whoever else is in agreement with the contract. So yeah,
The binding contract is a contract. If the contract says he's the headliner, there is nothing, because I'm pretty sure she's not cutting the check. The person that's paying them had this contract drawn up, right? And if the contract says he's the headliner, well, then she just have to suck it up and be the second person, not because he's the first person in charge. So she'll be the second person, or she won't get paid.
right.
Yeah.
And my other co-host, Miss Felicia, what do you say about the contract?
Well, I'm looking at it like this. Somebody was confused. Somebody misunderstood something. You
Mm,
know, Up to that, who knows? But somebody,
yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
Then
I could
how
agree.
they-
Somebody was definitely confused about
somebody
something.
didn't understand the assignment.
But I think Monique probably thought she had seniority because isn't she older than DL Hughley?
It's not
So she
about
probably said,
seniority. It shouldn't be about, yeah, maybe she thought that maybe she should be what
yeah,
maybe she had a identity complex up there or something, with that, because
yeah, she did.
it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you saying that you're the headliner. Now a contract is going to be direct, especially in this type of industry. So
Mhm.
the contract is going to state who's the headliner and who's not.
Yeah, binding contracts. Yeah. Mhm.
In that. So either
Mhm.
she decided not to go along with it or something, because she definitely had a rant. She was in her feelings. And for somebody to
Mhm.
be that angry, I will hope that they were that angry for a real valid reason.
Mhm. Well, I think she's gonna have to open her own business and stuff and start working for people because it's not gonna work because she
Yeah,
has an issue there.
I think she's done. I think she is
Yeah.
Hollywood done. She is too. That
Yeah.
was a lot.
Oh, she is burning a lot of
Yeah.
bridges. She is
She
burning a lot of
is.
bridges, I
Yeah.
must say. Okay,
Girl.
so let's move on to sports. Um,
Mhm.
NBA star Brittney Griner, who plays for the Phoenix Mercury, and I'm just going to recap a little bit. Griner was in prison since February 17th, right before the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And she was accused of bringing vape cartridges containing hash oils into the country. Okay. And so, what is your feelings on this? Let's start with Felicia. What is your feelings on this?
To be honest with you, every country got the right to have their own rules and regulations. When you travel into these foreign countries, and this is a news flash and something that all these ladies need to pay attention to. When you travel into these foreign countries, you need to know what their rules are, not what our rules are. You can't go over there and try to enforce our rules on them. You got to respect where you go, and you got to respect people and their culture. So if that country has a law against those items that you're trying to bring into that country, then you have to respect that. It's not That's the problem with, I think, a lot of Americans. We try to just force our way of life on everybody, and that's not how it should be. You got to understand these guys have their own rules. So when you go into these countries and they don't, they really not prone to women showing a lot of skin, or to people bringing in vapes and all type of marijuana items, then you got to respect that.
So, you don't
So
think it was some type of retaliation because of the war against Ukraine and Russia? You don't think it was
I
based
I
on
do.
mean,
that?
I
I
do.
mean, everybody could have their conspiracy about it. I think that they may be looking at the fact that, again, like, a lot of these countries think Americans just think they can do what they want. It might not have nothing to do with that war. They always try to teach an American a lesson. Look at that white guy that went to Thailand and was smoking a joint on the beach. A white man. They couldn't get him out. He did 5 years, 5 or 15 years
Thailand
in
is
prison.
full of drugs. A joint is nothing in Thailand. Thailand is full of drugs and prostitution and everything. So what
Yeah,
would a
but they
joint
had
do
that
to the
rule. They had
economy?
that rule that placed in certain areas. They didn't. Certain areas they don't allow it, and he just
But
got caught in areas that they didn't allow it. He did his time in jail.
but
It
Brittney
was,
Griner was already guilty. She was guilty because first of all, what black person, and I don't care who would, Russia laws are completely, Russia to me is a communist country. So I think she just had to breathe to be guilty. And she was American, so that makes her automatically guilty in Russia. So I don't think she did anything. She could have taken those, if she had oils and used them to rub with and stuff like that. I don't smoke and stuff, but I'm just telling you. So no matter what, she didn't have to do anything to be guilty. My as a person, I would never, I don't care how much Russia would pay me to be there. I wouldn't go to a country like Russia. Because first of all, my skin is, my color is gonna work against me being in Russia. I think Russia and Putin them are very prejudiced people, and you know that. And I think it's still a communist country because, like I said the last time, America built these big malls over there, and then they can't even shop in their own malls. Only Americans can shop in a mall. And then everybody looks at America as a feeding, as a feast, somebody to feed off of. they're always looking for America to pick up the baggage for them. So they tend to make the United States look bad. But if America told me I had to leave this country, I think I would have a nervous breakdown because I couldn't accept any other country but the United States. Never, never. I
Interesting
don't
that
think
you
life could
mentioned,
ever be the same.
interesting that you mentioned Thailand, because I want to share something.
Yes, full of drugs.
I want to share something with you guys. I want to share my screen. Um, Hold on one moment. I want to share something with you guys on something. I'm going to go to um, oh, give me one moment to capture. Okay. Can you guys see this picture?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let me make it a little bigger.
hmm
Okay. And it says
Okay.
the Russian's arms dealer once inspired a Nicolas Cage movie. He could now help bring Brittney Griner home in a prisoner swap.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what they
Um,
want to do. They're gonna do that. Have America swap one of their people for Brittney Griner. That's exactly what it's gonna boil on to. But I like I said, being a minority and going to Russia, you're already guilty. You're
right.
already guilty. Why would
Just to give
you?
you a
Yeah.
little feedback.
Mm,
Now, this is a Russian dealer. His name is Victor Bolt.
mm,
Bolt.
mm,
And he is serving a 25-year prison sentence in the USA. He was doing a transportation of arms, but it was occasionally. He became known as the Merchant of Death. There was
mm,
like I said in the caption, there was a movie based on his life, and it was starring Nicolas Cage, and the name of the movie is called Lord of War.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
um, after years of dodging arrest warrants, Bolt was arrested in Thailand during a sting operation in 2008, brought into the USA to face trial. Bolt
Mm,
was sentenced to 25 years behind bars in 2011 for selling weapons to a Colombian terrorist group.
mm-hmm.
So this man might set Brittney Griner free. Isn't that
Mm-hmm.
interesting how we are now setting deals here?
But America's paying for everything. They have embassy in every country, and they're saying, well, America's supposed to help because they have embassy in every countries, and so America's supposed to help when it's disasters in other country. But the problem, they're paying for those embassies to be there because you can imagine how much donations they're giving these people. How much donations America has given them just for having embassy there. Then they also got to go and save the world. Who is saving anybody here? Who? When disasters hit here, who's coming? All the money that they sent into the Ukraine, people here is going to probably have to work till they're 100 years old, right? 100 years old before they can collect their Social Security. Because where is all this money coming from, right?
Yeah,
Billions are going to Ukraine, right? Putin is having a ball because we're sending billions over there for his spoiled brat self to destroy a country and all these people. Why? Why with all the disasters, COVID should be enough. When we're dealing with COVID, you think we should be bumming a country with innocent people and children and everything? But we gonna pay for all of this. And why? Why are we always giving? Who is giving us? Who's giving us anything here? Do
I
you see anything coming here? So Brittney Griner, I'm sorry she had to take that job. But first of all, she should have taken example from what's his face, was it Jesse Owen? when he went to try and shake Hitler's hand, and Hitler say he don't shake black people's hand. Those people over there are racist. How many black people you see in Russia? How many black people you see in Poland
You
and
know,
Romania and those
and also
places, you
another
know?
thing, it's sad because they pay these NBA basketball stars millions of dollars for these contract deals. And what do the WNBA league get? The women league have to play overseas in order to make ends meet, in order to meet
Yeah, on
mental
off seasons and
qualifications.
stuff. Yeah, but the thing about I think they just passed the law that soccer players are going to get the same amount of money as men get. So
Well,
they
that's
passed
good.
that like couple,
They
maybe
work
three
just
or
as
so
hard.
months ago.
And
Yeah.
they play just as hard.
Yeah, they play just as hard, but that has always been a something happened from way back in the time and way back in history. Men work, men took care of the house, men worked, the woman took care of the household and the kids, right? Woman was never going to get a fair pay because I think when you raise them, you tell them they're supposed to be in the house, taking care of the children and the men and stuff like that. They weren't supposed to go out there and get a job. A few was different that they had a separate idea, but that's exactly how you raise. Or you got to be able to clean, cook, take care of your husband, do all those things.
Yeah.
Husband, yeah, and husband had it in them that we got to go and make sure that we can pay the bills, have the children. Man has been taking care of women forever. So when this is my point, when women say, "Oh, well, I'm a woman, you're supposed to take care of me." They've been taking care of women. Well, I guess they had to because women couldn't really work like that.
Right.
But I'm just saying they should get some kind of credit for doing this for years. Remember,
Exactly. Exactly.
and
So
women's
so
always
we got to
saying,
move on. I know you're
yeah,
very passionate about that, Deborah.
yeah, definitely, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we got to move on. We got to move on. Now, as we know, this gun violence, oh my goodness, this gun violence, when is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? Again, when is it going to stop? So,
It's not gonna
the
stop.
4th of July weekend, which we know had passed a week or so ago, and so we had another mass shooting, and then in our home state, because we are from Connecticut, and we had another man who got shot in New London, and then we had a woman who was 22 years old,
Damn.
also got shot in a crossfire at a house party. Deborah,
Oh yeah.
what are we going to do? Felicia, what are we going to do with these gun violence, these gun shootings? What are we going to do?
Okay, so the girl that got killed in the house party, then they said the lady that lived down the hall, her granddaughter is her best friend. So
Oh, wow.
She called crying, saying that her friend died, but it was like the boyfriend pushed her in the front, the bullet. So it don't hit him, it hit her, right?
Oh,
So
my God.
that's how she got shot in that's how she got shot because he pushed her in the front. He pushed her in the front, the bullet, and so the bullet could hit her instead of hit him. So my friend down the hall, her granddaughter called crying because that's her friend that got shot. But the
Wow.
yeah, but the firearm industry, that's a lot of money. They're making a lot of money. They're gonna keep selling guns and they're gonna keep, and the problem, like I said before, they passed a 21 law where you have to be 21 years old to get to buy a firearm and stuff. Well, that's a good start, but guns are not going anywhere.
Do you think
And people
21 is an appropriate age to still buy a
21,
gun?
well, if you can go to the military 17 and 18 and kill people, I mean shoot people, you sure can buy a gun at 21 years old because 21 years old is older than
But
18.
but but in the military, you're trained. Your mind is equipped to. They train you to do certain things. You're going through a strict protocol. You're going through basically therapy to make sure your mind is right. So they're not just giving you a gun to say, here, go out there and shoot. You're going
But you
through boot camp, you're going through training, you're basically, so it's a whole different arena.
okay? So if you were to buy a gun from Hoffman Motors, if you were to buy a gun, Hoffman gun shop in on the Berlin Turnpike, if you bought a gun from them, you would have to. I think you would have to go through a little training, extensive background check, because I remember when my first husband bought a gun from there, he used to go to Hoffman all the time, and you would have to wait for this. They had to do background check, and you had to do like little gun classes and stuff, you know. And I was like, I don't know what happened to that, because that was back in the days. Now here it's
Right.
probably everything is easier now. Then everything was harder, but I don't know when these killings are going to stop. I don't know. I really, it's sad. I don't know what. And the gun industry, we can't do anything to them because the NRA, the National Rifle Association, all those people, they have the big bucks coming in, and more weapon makes them stronger financially, you know?
Yeah.
So we just gonna have to try and hope common sense will kick in most of it, you
Alicia,
know?
what do you say about the gun shootings that continues to happen? We can't hear you. Do you have your phone on mute? Do you have your phone on mute? We can't hear you. We have to come back to, yeah, we have to come back to her. We have to come back to Felicia. Okay, so let's talk about some good positive news that's going on. How about Brantford? Well, there's a man named Christopher, and I'm gonna pronounce his name slow so I can get it. His last name Rusinski,
Mm,
and um, we got about 10 minutes left. So his name is Christopher Rusinski. He shot his first movie in the New Haven area.
yeah.
It's a combat vet movie. And I am so proud to say that we are from Connecticut, and I am proud to say that we got some good news. Congratulations, Christopher Rusinski, again, who shot his first movie in the New Haven area, and it's a combat movie. So whoever is into combat movies and veteran movies, please support his first film. Um, please support his first film. Please go
Could
out.
you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
but hold on one second, please.
okay.
Please support his first movie that he shot in the New Haven area. And now that Felicia is on, Felicia, we have at least 8 minutes left. If you can give us some feedback on the gun violence.
Well, again, I feel like I'm sorry, guys. I have a little outage in my building. As you know, I'm
You
sitting in
see,
the
it's
dark.
kind of dark back there.
You know, I'm already chocolate. So, hello, here we go. It's the best I could do for y'all. But I mean, I feel, girl, it's like a blue suede movie over here. But I feel like, with this gun violence, it's something that's been going on for a while. And I know that the topic is always a juicy one, but this country and also the impressors of this country has been built and raised off of war and violence. It's never going to change, but to see young kids going into elementary schools and killing children, now we got a problem with that, and I feel like, You know, the immaturity of a male mind is different from a female mind.
Yeah.
And you notice that majority of these young teenagers that's grabbing these guns at 18 and going into high schools and going into elementary schools and doing all these mass shootings.
Yeah.
They're young, they male. They men that's doing this, you
Yeah.
know. I don't believe that 21 is an old enough age, as I said on the last podcast that we did, and we spoke about this. You know, if you're in the military and so forth, then that's different, because like Crystal said, you have training. You know, if you allow 21-year-olds to go inside of gun shops and purchase guns, what training do they have? You know, who's telling them how to use this weapon? Most of the people are getting guns because they just want to get one. I got a friend that has a gun and never would she ever use it.
Yeah.
Like I said back in the days,
You know,
you
so it's
had-
like,
Mhm.
yeah, so it's like, you know, as far as gun violence go, I think that one, they should definitely boost that age up to 25. It's a maturity, it's a mind level set. It's a certain, you know, way of thinking. 25 years, that's half of 50 right there. You got to have some type of common sense at that point. Some, you know, a little bit, but some, you know,
But
more
you
than what
don't
you have
have
at
to
21
be,
or 18.
you don't have to be any legal age to buy. You can buy a gun. You could, like they says, black market. You can buy a gun at any age. So
And that's the
21 years.
problem.
So yeah, at any age. But who's monitoring that? Who can monitor? They buy guns from
Nobody
people.
can.
You know, nobody
Right.
can monitor. Who can
So,
stop it?
you
So
know
if it's
what?
That's
21,
You know what?
that's why being people, you know, parents and so forth, we got to do our duties and talk to our kids about guns, man.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
because for some reason, a person that got a gun always think he the only one with the gun.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yep.
there's nobody else with a gun. You ain't the only one. There's people out
Right.
there with
That's
guns, you
true.
know.
That's true.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to stop it right there because we have less than 4 minutes left. So listen,
Okay.
guys. Again, thank you for the show today. Again, this is All Walks of Life. We are immature journalists trying to make the world better. And again, we just trying to take episodes or even news articles, and we're trying to look beyond what we see and giving you the best in what we got. So I would like to thank you, Krista Renee, and my co-host, Deborah Crockett and Felicia Oliver, for joining me today. Thank you, guys. We
Yeah,
are
Yes,
I'm
and
the one you can't really see.
and Mystic Pizza was also shot in Connecticut with Julia Roberts.
yes,
Oh, nice.
yes, it was. Yes, it
Now,
was.
Crystal,
So,
did you speak about the clove drive that we got going on?
yep, I'm gonna speak to that off the air. But thank you for everyone for tuning in on All Walks of Life. Hope you enjoyed our show today.